Welcome back to another tier list. Now, this is one of the weirder tier lists I've done, but not the weirdest. You know, I've done tier lists that are pretty off the wall, like the gadgets tier list or the husks tier list. And honestly, you just scroll down on my tier list playlist, I'll link it down below. Things get a little crazy, like the ammo tier list, but I've gotten the request several times actually for an animals tier list. Now, there aren't that many animals in the game at first. You think, okay, there's like boars, raptors, wolves, we got chickens, crows, boars, or not boars, but frogs. We got 6, right? Well, then you realize the crows not only have different rarities, but more rarities than I even knew. And only today I found out, I didn't know this. I didn't believe Archer when he told me. There are apparently golden chickens, extremely rare. I've never seen them, but we had a couple of people in chat corroborate that they have in fact seen them. So they're meant to be a crazy Easter egg. And then of course we've also got the zombie chickens. So I'm going to be ranking this in terms of S tier is like the most useful, the best animals in the game, and then F tier are the least favored. So for a lot of people, and I know this, I've heard your cries, animals are very annoying. A lot of people actually call for them to just be completely removed from the game. In their current state, I can't completely argue with that sentiment, but I trust that they'll be useful someday. Right now, we've only got Phoenix and Gia, and neither of them are really changing things around for animals, but I'm going to pretend like animals are actually useful for the purposes of today's tier list. For example, when it comes to combat, the Raptor is really, really good for single target damage. No, okay. In terms of animals, it's the best for single target damage, but borderline useless in the 160s, I'm well aware. But it's also like pretty bad for crowd clearing, all right? The Boar is pretty okay for damage in general, but really good for loot. You know, that's kind of what you use it for. In fact, people have used Boars just to farm. Then you've got the Wolves, which are pretty much your top tier option, in my opinion. They're great for getting around the map. You can ride them. They do really good crowd clearing and single target, and they're just an all-around great pick. So I'll do S tier just for Wolves. Raptor, in my experience, I am trying so hard to pretend like animals are usable. Just work with me. We're having some fun here. Raptors, I can't think of it without watching them fall through the map in my head. But in terms of like single target, it's all right, but crowd clearing, you know, B tier. If I was going to go for usability, it'd be F, all right? But I'm just, you know, like, all right, just in the scope of animals, B tier, all right? That's where I'm putting Raptors. You can't ride them or anything. Boars, they're great for loot and riding around the map, but they're pretty subpar for combat. I'll put them in A tier because they kind of punch you around the map as well. Not very fun to deal with. Maybe S tier. Maybe A tier. I don't know. I think they're higher up, but that's where I'm going to put them. Crows, F tier. Just a useless addition to the game. Barely usable at all. Crows that can drop green loot. Pretty good. You know, not great. I'll even put it in C tier because crows that you can shoot down actually give decent loot. Like today alone, and this has happened a ton, I got 22 batteries and nuts and bolts. You can get them. You can get quartz. They're actually really good, especially the golden ones. But the blue ones, you know, B tier, they get a little bit better loot. It's almost better than green, but it's better than green. I didn't even know blue ones existed. Again, this is why I record these on stream. Twitch link down below if you ever want to be a part of the fun. I did not realize that you could even get blue ones. Purple ones, of course, I've seen, and gold crows are S tier. Gold crows are fantastic. I love them. They're so amazing. They give you not only like decent weapons and ventures, but even in the normal game and adventures, you can recycle those weapons and traps for like the traps 100% return and the weapons loot that you might not have normally gotten. Just free sunbeam, free quartz, free oxidized mineral powder. Really, really, really good. Love the golden crows. And I think golden chickens drop that stuff as well. So I'm going to put it in S tier alongside. Normal chickens are F tier. Even like below F tier after they got buffed to do a little bit more damage than they used to. Zombie chickens, also F tier. You use them for that kill 50 of them quest, just to get like the brainstorm quest line completed, and then that's it. They are an annoyance for the rest of the game. I hate zombie chickens. I don't think anybody likes these. And yeah, there's also a mythic crow. Bull crap, Mentos. If that's a real thing, then double S tier, okay? You kind of know how this goes. That's ridiculous. Frogs, I'll also put them in F tier. In fact, I'm going to raise these up 1 tier because I forgot one important fact, that all of these animals can drop meat that feed the good animals up top. And apparently you could ram into husks while riding the boar. All right, deal. All right, S tier, S tier. I'm putting it up here, But the zombie chickens, I don't care if they drop meat. I hate them. So yeah, there's my tier list. Now, obviously, I mentioned this first thing. Okay, here. Yeah, this was bugging me too. Elephant in the room. Animals kind of suck. I mean, this is like the tier list for basing them around animals on their own. Let's reset this and show how animals are in the real game, okay? Crows, same lineup. Super, super useful. They fund all the builds. They are just great. Again, they kind of feed you, and that meat you can eat yourself. So meat is actually good to have. Zombie chickens are still F tier. Fuck them. However, yeah, golden chickens as well. This is the easy lineup. This is in the actual game. However, these are not that good. Boars are pretty good loot for ventures. Like, no bullshit. I think they're kind of A tier. You can ride these around the map. I personally have not taken enough use out of that. That can be really fun. Raptors cannot be ridden. They just damage you and hurt you, and they are useless in combat. They're kind of nice for a little bit, and then they're gone before you realize they were even there. F tier. Maybe low D tier for reals, but like wolves. I mean, you can use them to get around the map. Does anybody in chat know the lineup? I don't actually know if wolves are faster than hoverboards. If they are, I'll put them in S tier. If not, I don't know. If not, maybe A tier is where they belong, because these are actually useful. Wolves are slower than hoverboards. Okay, thank you, Archer. Yeah, I guess I hadn't tested that, because like I said, I have underutilized the movement with these animals. Even with sprinting, that's interesting to experience, because I imagine you can also do damage to the enemies like you're supposed to in BR. At least you could in BR. Whether or not that's a function in Save the World, I'll admit I don't know, because like I said, I might be optimistic with A tier. I think realistically, these are like kind of fun sometimes. This is probably the final tier list for like normal missions. Inventures, wolves, I'm sorry, Inventures, boars are a little bit higher up again, because being able to dig up loot is nice. That is a very, very important thing. I've heard of people even just... I don't support this, and I think this is a lot less efficient than just farming, but I've heard of people just hanging out, sitting around while the boars just do all the looting. That is so much slower than just playing the game yourself, but they do bring you decent loot, and for the same reason that the crows are up towards the top, I guess that's okay. Now, I want to think about something that was teased in chat. Do gray crows exist? I'm leaving this open to the commenters on this channel, because I don't really know if that's a thing. That would be garbage, but hey, I mean, recyclable loot is recyclable loot, and that's another thing. They don't? All right, Archer, I believe you, but it'd be nice, right, to have that extra stuff. However, if that's a chance that can spawn, that's like that's a potential chance that it's not a golden crow, and I don't think anybody wants that in lieu of it. But somebody also mentioned OP for riding. You know what? I don't like chickens just attacking you constantly, but for getting around the map, this might be an end of the video S tier pick. Seriously, you can really close some distance by holding chickens. Maybe it's a last minute S tier pick. Either way, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been silly, but honestly, it's one of those fun tier lists where it's more to think about than you might have initially thought, but not as engaging as one of the more fun tier lists. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if you guys have any suggestions. Twitch link down below if you guys ever want to join these. I'll see you next time, and yeah, take it easy.